Later this morning, we are waiting for that highly anticipated gross domestic products report, the GDP. It's expected to offer a fresh look at economic growth following President Trump's tariffs. This all comes as the president's feud with the Federal Reserve just continues to ramp up. NewsNation's Alicia Nieves is live on Wall Street with all the details. Alicia, what exactly are we expecting from today's report?
Yeah, good morning, Markie. This week, really, in today's report, going to be a test of, our economies and really economies around the world, particularly India's, as Trump's tariff agenda just continues to go into place. We're going to see, today with the GDP report, the revised one, whether we actually see that, really robust report that came out about a month ago showing that GDP growth was right around 3%. If that still holds, of course, it did follow a shrink in GDP in Q1 of negative, 0.5%. So it's going to be important to see if amid the inflationary pressures that many have been concerned about when it comes to Trump's tariff agenda, if that GDP for Q2 has held. If it has, that'd be great news for our economy. And if it hasn't, it will be a cause for concern, especially when you consider that this week in particular, we have seen some tariffs go into place for, a major trading partner, India. This has been this 50% tariff the administration has levied against India, doubling what it initially was. It's going to affect India's economy, far more than it's going to affect ours. It's about $80 billion at least in goods from that country, which represent about 20% of their overall exports. But it's not to say that it's not going to affect, our economy at all, right? Everything from, electronic goods to leather goods to jewelry, to medical supplies. The consumer here in the U.S. could feel the pinch with that 50%, tariff being implemented because, of course, tariffs trickle down into affecting a country, but the consumers here in the U.S. Pay for it. So that's going to be a concern, for one. Again, it's going to be even more focused why we're going to pay attention to GDP to see if there's any shrink in the economy as it relates to tariffs. And if there isn't, that's going to be a good indicator, for the president and his agenda, but also for the Federal Reserve, right? When it comes to the idea of a rate cut, which many are expecting is going to happen next month, the Fed wants to see some cause for it, some need for it. So if there's a pullback and there hasn't been a big push on inflation, that'll be good, for the Fed. Markie?
We'll see if this data significantly shapes expectations for later on in September. Alicia, you bring up the president. With the Fed juggling this data, how are the president's attacks still playing into the mix?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of attacks to the president, right? President Trump has been clear that he wants some really dramatic rate cuts. He said a 1% rate cut, which really would be unprecedented. We've only seen that during major economic downturns, the last one being, during the pandemic. And he's applied a lot of pressure to the Fed. He's, many have called these attacks, sometimes even bullying, to the point where he's called, Fed Chair Powell a lot of different names, from Too Late Powell to a numbskull. He's obviously turned his attention otherwise, realizing that, his agenda to have these major rate cuts are not going to end with replacing Fed Chair Powell, which he will be able to do in May. The reality is it takes a majority rule of the Board of Governors. There's 12 of them. The president has made some headway there. You've got, 2 boards of governors in the last rate cut decision dissenting with Fed Chair Powell and the broader Fed, agreeing that we should have some rate cuts. We had a board of governors resign. And then now you have the attention turning to Lisa Cook, which would be a 4th board of governor potentially that being targeted by the president, or that could give the president a stronger sense of a majority. She is being accused by a Trump ally of mortgage fraud, basically saying that she had 2 homes listed as a primary resident back in 2001. The president this week saying that he fired her. She has come back most recently now saying that she is suing to stop the president from doing that, actually saying that he does not have authority to do so. So there's this back and forth saga to the point now where it's really unclear if Lisa Cook is actually still with the Fed. And I say that of 2 reasons. One, NEC Chair Kevin Hassett has just recently said she should resign. If you're fired, then you shouldn't have to resign. But 2, this is really unprecedented and uncharted territory. In the history of the entire Fed, there has never been a president to fire a board of governor or a Fed chair. So this is something that Wall Street is watching closely, Markie.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.